Hello and welcome to the Swole Initiative Network. It is sort of cozy Monday. Not really cozy. It's kind of.
We're all gonna die.
Yes. We're getting ready to run session 0 under the tutelage of one Eric. I don't know if you post your last name online, so I stopped there. But it sounded like I was going to. So, but yes, before I hand off to our amazing GM, I'm just going to run through some. Oh, thanks for the follows. Gnome, Forest of the Astrals, a forest gnome, Way of the Astral Self monk.
That's cool.
Nice.
Do they have really long astral arms though?
And maybe long legs too.
like Goliath arms on a gnome body.
That's really cute.
Can they walk around on their Goliath arms?
Focus.
New idea.
We just went through the Mantar that you posted, right?
Yeah,
half man.
I haven't
half
recovered
man.
from that.
You don't want to see it. You don't want to see it.
Yeah. So before I hand off, we are just going to say a quick thank you to some of our brand partners that help us do all of this stuff, starting with the amazing Norse Foundry, of course, who help us out with tons of giveaways and supply all of our premium metal and gemstone dice that we roll on our shows, as well as the royalty-free music that we stream. Awesome. So yeah, them, and then links in the chat and whatnot. Also, Griffin Co. supply all of our custom 3D printed minis and terrain, which we've had a lot of fun with recently on Fables of Galia. And lastly, Hero Forge, who color print all of our 3D printed hero miniatures. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Eric.
I finally have the power I've been waiting for.
You're running the show.
You've relinquished it to me now, Jay. No, thank you. Yeah, so we're going to be running a game of Die here on the channel. But before that, we do a kind of a collaborative character creation, which is a fun system I've been seeing a lot more in different tabletop RPGs. First time I think I read this was when I picked up the Avatar tabletop RPG, and I'm like, oh, okay, this seems like a really neat way to get everyone grounded, build a foundation for the characters, and then like before you even get started. So I'm going to be going through just a quick intro to the game itself. I'll introduce some of just like the rules and kind of the just basic core mechanics. I'll then talk quickly about the classes, and then we'll just start going into getting some questions going to see who all of us are here. So yeah, the game is Die. It's based off of a comic book by the same name, written by Kieron Gillen. Kieron Gillen, yes. And yeah, it's been best described as Gothic Jumanji. I think that came up as a joke early on, and I think it just stuck because it was such a very apt name for this tabletop RPG. The basics of the story is kids sit around a table with this game, and when they find as soon as they start playing, they get sucked into it, and I won't spoil any of the story, so that's basically the premise. But in this case, we are going to be creating kind of the people that will be playing who get sucked into said game. So to clarify some things, if I refer to you as a player, that's going to be, Jay, Betty, Ashley, Paul, and Mike. We're creating our personas here. So our personas are going to be the people that we embody. They're real life people, modern times kind of people. And then the folks that become sucked into the game will be the Paragon. And the Paragon is kind of like your character class, or if you're familiar with other playbook style tabletop RPGs, it's kind of like the playbook. So some other things in regards to stats. Stats are very similar to D&D. So it's like you got your strength, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, etc., etc. Except you don't have a 1 through 18 score or 1 through 20 or whatever you want to do. It's everyone starts with a base of 2. So you've got 2 strength, 2 dexterity, 2 intelligence, and then you're given the choice to add 2 to any score. So 1 on 1 and 1 on 2 or 2 on 1, if that makes sense. You then use those stats as your base for how many d6s you roll, because this is in fact a d6 ran mechanic, and it's based off of successes and failures, which are judged by if you roll above a 4+. So we can actually try to do a quick test roll just so I can give you all a taste of what it feels like to pass or fail a test. So let's say you all have your d6s. You have some d6s in front of you. Yes? Fantastic.
Yes.
So let's say you are doing you're lockpicking. You're checking a door, need the lockpick. Let's say you're probably pretty good at it. You've got a dexterity score of 3. You put 1 score above your base level of 2. So you start off with 3 dice. The core mechanic is essentially taking, you add 1 per your stat point. We'll then go through if you have advantage or disadvantage. You roll those dice. Any of the 4+ are counted as successes. And then you lose 1 if there's any difficulty that I set. And then any successes are remaining. So I will start at the beginning. You start with 3 dice. Let's say you all have like good lockpicking skills. I would grant you advantage on that roll. So let's give you 4. Give you +1 d6. You've got advantage. You're looking pretty good. Chances are pretty good. But I made this door particularly hard, so I'm going to set a difficulty of 1. So let's go ahead and roll those dice.
Oh, that was pretty good.
I hope so.
Mine's both good and bad.
All right. So I set the difficulty of 1. So I would like you to remove 1 of your successes.
Does it have to be the highest one?
It doesn't. Actually, I would suggest choosing the lowest one.
The lowest success? Okay.
Any non-6, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you have those ready?
Yeah.
Now remove... No, that's it. Let's start with Jay. What did you get? Did you get any successes?
I got 2 6s.
You got 2 6s. Wow.
Yeah,
all right.
2
Save
6s,
those
2 6s, a 5, and a 2. So I took the 5 away.
Fantastic. Well done. I'll get back to what would happen if that was a real roll. Paul, how about you?
I got 2 5s.
2 5s. Well done. Betty?
Yep, and a 1 and a 2.
Okay.
So to succeed, you have to roll more than 1 on a dice?
You have to roll higher than a 4.
Oh, I
Or
see.
sorry, 4 or higher. 4, 5, or 6 is a success.
Then I only had 1 success.
Okay.
But then you have
a
to remove
success?
that? Is that
It's a
the...
5.
So of the 4 dice, only one of them was above 4?
Yeah.
Okay. So because there was a difficulty of 1, you would remove that 1 success, and you're left with 0 successes. So you did not pass.
I didn't
Okay.
pass.
Okay. Ashley.
Good stuff.
I have a 6, a 2, and a 1.
Okay.
I removed a 5.
Okay.
Right?
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yep. exactly correct, and you're left with a good 6. How about you, Mike?
I have a 6, a 3, and a 3 after removing a 5.
Okay, so Betty fails. Paul succeeds. You 3 also succeed. However, there is a special. Sometimes, if you have an ability that says special, you would essentially spend your 6 to do that special. A lot of times that comes up in combat. Different people have different things, and yeah, so pretty easy. That's the basic mechanic for the game. I set the difficulty. You may or may not have advantage or disadvantage, and then successes and failures are counted from there. The only one, there is a caveat to that, where you can critically fail, which is if you have 0 successes and there is a 1, and you rolled a 1 on one of those dice, which I don't think you did, Betty.
I had the 1 success.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant a 1 on the dice.
I did have a 1 on the dice.
Oh.
So I critically failed.
You did critically fail. Congratulations. We got a full spectrum of all the different possibilities that could have happened. That is the great thing about statistics.
You are
Sure.
dead now.
Yay!
You're dead. You're dead. You can leave.
That's the name of the game.
You beat the game. You're dead. You're all actually trying
Just
to
win.
die
died.
as quickly as possible.
Very millennial game.
So is there a crit success as well?
Crit success would be considered your special. So if you've activated your special, that's kind of like a crit success. There are instances on the character sheets, on the individual Paragon sheets, where there could be like a double success, or a double special, in which you would need to spend 2 6s on. Those are like uber powerful kinds of things. Cool. So let's go through quickly the different classes. So, as I mentioned, this is a D6 system, so you don't roll any other dice initially, unless when we start playing the game, each Paragon is actually assigned one specific die. And in this case, the order would be the Dictator is assigned a D4, the Fool is assigned a D6, the Emotion Knight is assigned a D8, the Neo a D10, the GodBinder a D12, and then me, the Master, gets the good old D20.
Boo.
Ooh, screw that guy.
What's actually funny is my special as a D20, I would have to roll a natural 20. So it's actually a lot harder for me to get my...
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Interesting.
But
yeah.
anyway, going through the actual... I know I just listed them off here, but the Dictator is one of... It's kind of like the bard-ish type class, caster in a way, but very much so dark. The Dictator kind of chooses a specific emotion and can effectively force somebody to feel that emotion in ways that they've never felt before, or maybe even supernaturally even possible. They can control people, and you know, think if you're, you know, in D&D terms, dominate or control person, those types of things. They are incredibly powerful communicators. Thus, the Dictator name is quite apt. The Fool. The Fool is a really fun class that uses they're assigned the D6, and the Fool essentially gets bonuses when acting in a way that is careless, foolish, you know, like charging into battle when you know you shouldn't. I see that face. Things like that. So a lot of these, you know, the characters are all kind of built to give you pluses by making narrative choices, which is really cool. The Emotion Knight uses the D8, and the Emotion Knight channels one specific emotion and channels it into their semi-sentient weapon. They are the most powerful fighters you can imagine, and if their emotions get out of hand, they can destroy mountains and armies single-handedly. They are a scary class. The Neo, let's think hacker, cyber, AI, cool. If you want like a fun pet, a Neo is for you. They have a mechanic that works off of something called fair gold, which is just a small resource that can be found in the game, and they can use that resource to supercharge their blasters, their close combat laser swords, whatever you want to call it. Super fun, yeah. The GodBinder is the take on a think your classic cleric or paladin type class. The GodBinder in this is a little bit different, though. Instead of worshipping a specific god, they make deals with the gods, and in that case, the gods might grant you favor, but that puts you in god debt essentially, and that your god is going to want payment back. So you're given very powerful bonuses from another worldly god in this case, but you do so at a cost. Now, if you're clever, you can have a god owe you a favor, and you can call it in when you so wish. And then there's the master. The master is going to be, me. I will be the master in this one. They are going to be your wizard type class. They certainly never cheat or make up the rules or change the rules. They never do that. Take that with a grain of salt. And yeah, the D20 is assigned to the master, and yeah, I'm just one of you all, trying to hang out.
Sure you are.
Nothing suspicious going on here.
Nothing at all. Awesome. So that's like a quick overview of Die. I think we can start getting into kind of the foundation of the story that we're going to be running. So I'm going to be running the I don't know what you call it. It's not pre-gen, but it's called Rituals. It's called Rituals in dierpg. It's a great way to start the game, and we're all essentially we used to play, let's say, D&D tabletop RPG together in high school. It has been a number of years since then, and we've all been called back to a reunion at our school. And so at this reunion, I decided to call you all to get the gang back together to play a new game that I have found. That's going to be kind of the basis here. So I'd also like to add, if you think of a persona name, as a reminder, we're creating our personas here. These are our characters in this parallel modern world. If you think of a name, you can either just jot it down or let me know during the stream, after the stream. Yeah, and I can kind of take.
Are we meant to keep that private?
No.
Okay.
This is all part of the creation process. Also, this is kind of an open kind of forum. While I'll be leading with certain types of questions, if you don't like an answer that you gave me, we can absolutely just change it and retcon it. This is still open character creation, loosey-goosey, cozy Monday.
My persona's name is Mike.
Bad move.
Mine is also Mike. Yeah, just to confuse everyone.
My name's Mike, and I like computers.
Well, actually, they're called PCs because it's personal computer.
Oh no.
I could just see this going like.
Yep.
Oh,
All
really?
right.
Well, I'm Ashley.
Oh yeah.
And you just
All right. So let's get this started. So let's do a couple like grounding questions. So these aren't character specific so much as let's just think about who we are as a group. Mike's name is in my head right now. So Mike, why did this group even get together in high school?
Ooh, that's a lot of
It can be big.
pressure. I would say that I probably just because they all fit together really well. Probably just like a ragtag group, if I had to guess. I mean, out of necessity for surviving through high school, early, like junior high, just kind of found each other in the as like the kind of like a misfit band, I guess you'd say. Don't really fit in anywhere else but with each other.
Thank you. Good. And Ashley, what kind of school did we all go to? So like rich kids, public school.
Yeah, I
like
think
something?
we all went to like private school. So like
Ooh.
uniforms, but we all had our own little like take on them to customize them, and maybe that like fits into us not really fitting into the general mold, and that kind of identified us as like kind of sticking out and then identifying each other to band together.
I like it. Nice. So I ran the game in high school, and Jay, what was the name of the campaign that we played in?
So many.
I asked the wrong person.
I'm trying to resist so many joke names.
It's okay.
I will just go with the Jaws of Bone.
Ooh, the Jaws of
Ooh.
That's pretty
As
sick.
opposed to the other thing that Jaws are made of.
Hey, we were in high school. Wasn't that creative?
No, it's
Actually,
it's
yeah,
like
I
a
love it.
teen kind of like, oh, I'm gonna make such an edgy name.
Yeah, I imagine the binder that I kept all of our stuff in had just like a jaw, but just like of all these different types of bones that make up the cave opening to this
Oh, I like it.
Jaws of Bone dungeon. Hell
It's
yeah.
very cool.
Betty, what year? How long has it been since we've played together?
Ooh, that's
So,
a
like,
good
what reunion is this for us?
Let's make it 20.
20. Nice. A lot of things can happen in 20 years.
Yep.
Paul.
Yes.
There was a place we always used to meet to when we weren't playing games. Where was it? And can you describe it?
You mean like off campus?
Maybe anywhere.
Oh, I'm going from my I'm pulling from my own real past here. We hung out at the 7-Eleven down the street from the school where we posted quarters at the Street Fighter machine and bought hot dogs and just abused the free chili and cheese and just ate it with a spoon all day while we were playing Street Fighter. That's where we hung out. 7-Eleven.
Nice.
Oh my
Very
god, so cute.
anti-rich kid vibe. Yeah. It's like,
Anti-rich kid vibe. Yep.
we're going straight to the arcades. I love that. All right, cool. Well, we have a pretty good foundation here. I think let's start going down, figure out who we each individuals are. Let's get back to we'll go back to Mike.
Okay.
On the most basic level, how did people kind of see you at school? Like, what was your clique?
I would probably say very like quiet, bookish, like band kid. Even in like the band kid clique, I was like the quiet one. Very, very like I was always like there first, setting up my instrument, had my stand. I silently complained that my stand partner didn't flip the music sheet fast enough. You know, spoke with looks, not words.
Oh yeah, a hard glance can be.
Oh yeah.
Speak a lot. How are you different from your stereotype that folks kind of put you into?
Ooh, I think that while I would probably be more of a like, it seemed to be like a goody two shoes. Definitely, I think my bedroom is just full of heavy metal and like secret goth kid, but can't really strike out in that and from like at home, like definitely looked down upon. So.
Got it. That's good. All right. I'll go in order of the way I'm seeing them now. So, Ashley, same two questions. So it's going to be, what is your stereotype, and how are you different than your stereotype?
Yeah, I think at the school, she definitely had a reputation for like, I think she's there on academics, not necessarily like fitting in with the other, like not because of tax bracket, but because of like testing in, and was like tutored people, that kind of thing. So I think has like a reputation for being very like academically like minded and recognized in that area. But I think in the way she kind of differs from that stereotype is like, I think people think she's very like cookie cutter and such, but I think she uses that to her advantage to then get away with stuff, because who would ever expect her to be skipping class? Because like no one's going to ask her for a hall pass. She's there for a reason, but she's just like cutting and like, sneaking into other things to gossip, and then kind of like, chasing like fun more than I think people would anticipate.
Nice. Good. Stoked. Betty.
Yes.
Let's go with your stereotype and how you differ from that stereotype.
So her stereotype is like the rebellious kid. She is like kind of looked at as like the outsider with most groups, maybe even with this group, but she finagled her way in. She is like from a very wealthy family, but tries to like play this like, that's not a part of her life kind of role. She's like the typical goth kid, so maybe has like a connection, there with the other character. And then she goes like she loves metal and playing guitar and being in like a garage band kind of situation, but she would never be in like the band at school. She's she's just kind of like that rebellious kid, that kind of persona of like, I don't follow the rules because I don't need them kind of situation.
Yeah, I love that. I think I'll interject here, and yeah, I think I was probably on board with the being in a band, but not like with band. So I think I was more of the quiet slacker stoner kid, but you know, give me an instrument and we can like jam out some tunes in a garage somewhere.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. From
And
no, go ahead.
I will say a name because it's been in my head like all day. But like her nickname that she goes by is Lucky, but like her name is Gertrude, and her family calls her
Oh, yeah.
Gertrude. But
Hate
she
it.
goes by Lucky, because that's like her stage name. And then, oh, there was the other question that was your person. What was the?
Oh, so there was one of like, what was your stereotype, and then
Okay.
how are you kind of different from that stereotype?
She, even though tries to like rebel from the family and the money and all the things, she's terrified of actually leaving that behind. Like she's very comfortable in her rebellion.
Yeah. And for everyone who's watching, I'm taking a lot of notes, so that's why
Okay.
I stay quiet. I'm not like judging your answer or something. I'm like,
No.
He's scoring it.
That's in the other book.
yeah, that's next. No.
So I judged
Awesome,
it a
yeah.
5 on a scale of 1,000.
Yeah, I think I think our characters definitely, our personas definitely bonded over similar things. I think my family was also, most of our families are probably rich, since we went to a very well-off school. But I think I got a reputation for maybe even like people didn't really see me around campus very often, so they figured I was either just like ditching or something. But I think I maybe got a rap as like, oh, is he like a drug dealer, or like what's going on there? But in reality, I always had to leave school because I needed to work at my parents' stupid restaurant, and I had to help support that venture. Paul, how about you? Stereotype and how you break from that.
Stereotype. I'm the low to moderate income diversity student that got to go to this private school. So I'm the poor boy, and so I'm pulling from real history. My parents were like drill sergeants. I had to study and be a doctor. No, I was hyper focused. So I was kind of socially awkward and introverted. But like I connected with people through things like artsy stuff. So I was trying to be, thinking that it was cool. I was trying to be cool by joining choir, and then I was in art classes to draw. And I drew comics, and I think that's how maybe I found these other nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us kind of share kind of this musical kind of background.
We probably saw each other a lot in the library, studying.
Study, yeah.
The two of us.
Cool. Jay, you're up.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna draw on a little bit of reality as well. I think I'm gonna be a stereotypical jock, like on all the sports teams, but we're in a private school, right? So lacrosse, obviously.
Oh, definitely.
The douchiest of games. And I think my breakaway from the stereotype will be that I would sneak away after practice and I would go to the school musical rehearsals because I wanted to perform.
I like musical theater.
Yep.
Musical, yeah. Wow. Just want to sing.
Not a reflection of
Music
reality
connection
whatsoever.
here.
I like it. Open kind of forum. Any other kind of like specific interests that you had? Like, anyone can talk in any order, but like, yeah, we're thinking like books, TV shows, games, anything you just like. Bands. I know metal bands have come up a lot.
That's not her style whatsoever. But
Not mine either.
No metal.
But she is happy to nod politely while it's playing, and everyone else is really enjoying it. Oh, this is loud. It's good. Loud.
Yeah. So Betty and I invited you to listen to our practice once, and you just nodded.
We asked if you wanted to play keys with us.
Yeah.
Oh, she definitely grew up like in piano lessons, that kind of thing.
So you could definitely play synth on some of our like more.
Nice.
It's good.
Yeah. I don't know any of the songs that they are interested in, but I pretend to know. And so I'm like that guy that's mouthing random stuff, and if they stop the music, I'll just be like, blah, 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 you know, that's me. Yeah. I sing my heart out, but not knowing the words. But like, yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I think I'm into metal as well. And on the weekends when there's no practice to go to, I like paint my nails black, but I have to take it off before Monday.
Every weekend.
Yeah.
I think we probably are in the school musical together. Like, she's definitely a show choir, like musical. She is also like vice president of like a laundry list of clubs that just like she's just in it for the merit. And I think low income as well, but they're to like take and absolutely like clutch onto any kind of like status that she can like grab to prove that she belongs there in a way. So she's like so over involved in everything. So
I have
every elective,
you guys,
yeah,
because you guys are all the metal kids, and they're usually more accepting than the cool hip kids. So they're like the outcasts. It's easier to get accepted with the outcasts. And so my nerdy ass, I was probably helping you guys, tutoring you guys, and ended up in the crew.
I wasn't that good. I wasn't a good student, so I was
a good student.
My parents enrolled me in tutoring immediately.
Yeah. What subject do you think you tutor, Paul?
It's obviously math.
I'll tutor chemistry.
What was that, Ashley? What did you say?
I'll tutor chemistry, so that we're on different. We got our bases covered.
I think
that's also
we're lab partners probably. That's how I know Ashley. We're lab partners somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
We're like the actual students.
We compete like for straight, like we're like always the top of the class, and I think we have like a kind of
rivals.
For sure.
Little bit of a rivalry there.
Yeah.
Never
I think
maybe
she takes the AP class.
Oh yeah.
So I have to take the AP class 2 levels higher, and then she has to go like to the college to take her class, and then I gotta like sign up for like online classes that are higher than hers, and it's just nonstop.
I like kept retaking the like SAT to keep trying to beat your score. Like I got a great score, and then I heard that this is also from my real life, and I heard that someone else got a better score, so then I retook it again to get a better score.
Yeah.
This is all good.
Yeah, I think maybe I had both of you guys as tutors, because I'm not like smart, but I'm getting by on just like sports scholarship kind of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I think when you guys started tutoring me, found it wasn't that I didn't understand the content, I just didn't turn anything in.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no interest in actually doing any of the work.
Loose leaves of paper in the backpack kind of student.
Oh yeah, just a bunch of trash mixed in with. I pull out my essay that I wrote, and it's like I have to like, a couple of pieces are just like ripped together, and I turn in
dust up old muffin wrappers and things.
Yeah, gum wrappers.
They're all my papers are all covered in chocolate from whatever muffin I was.
I like it.
Oh, I came up with a name as well.
Fantastic.
I'm gonna go with Lionel Graves.
Ooh, that's really good.
Lionel Graves.
I feel so attached.
Yeah.
Gotta give it
Well said.
a fake name though, so that I don't.
Ashley fake name.
Ashley Fake.
Mike, how about you? Any other kind of like interests that you had other than band and your secret metal obsession?
Yeah, I think that like really getting into like the new like local scene really was like my jam, and that's kind of think how I found Lucky, and just like that local band scene is I like somebody's like Walkman or like whatever year it is, like whatever is playing on it like comes unplugged, like their headphones, and starts playing over speakers in the library, like maybe while they're getting tutored. And I'm like, oh, if you like them, you'll like this. And it's like,
Oh, you mean?
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah, this is just straight from mine and Jay's DMs. But like, yeah, so I just kind of got in that way, like, oh, you like this, and they're probably surprised of like, who is this person? Like, this quiet person. And I would love to actually play a girl character, just to named Frankie Branowitz.
Ooh.
So
Okay, so far we have a Frankie Brandowitz, we have Lucky, Gertrude, but Lucky. We have, what was your name?
Lionel.
Lionel?
Lionel Graves.
Lucky, Frankie.
My nickname on the lacrosse team is the Grave Digger.
Ugh, that's so good.
Let me get that. Let me get that. This good stuff here. Awesome.
My name's Eloise.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Eloise Thatcher.
Thatcher.
I had Fletchley in my head for some reason.
Eloise Fletchley. I like Fletcher. Eloise Fletcher. Oh, that's better.
Okay.
I like that better than Thatcher. Fletcher.
You're the final decision. That's your name. I think I'll be feeling Gavin. Gavin feels like a rich kid name. I don't have a last name. I'll think of it.
Neither does Gertrude.
Yeah. We actually preferred people not know our full names.
We don't want people to know the family that we're associated with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, my last name is probably the restaurant name of my parents. All right. Cool. Give me 1 second. I need to reorder some things here. I found a great way to write notes for tabletop RPGs. This is in no way a commercial.
But we are sponsored by.
Millinote is awesome because you can just like spread out all of your stuff all over the place. And I need things. I hate flipping through tabs and pages and things. I'd rather just like place something somewhere and be like, yes, it's over there. Let me grab it. So I'm just reordering some things here.
Yeah, spatial notes.
Base notes.
I was about to say the same thing.
I mean, it's literally just Post-its, but in a computer.
You can also add full-on documents, images, and you can draw like a tree to be able to like connect them all together. Just like that.
Oh no.
Is that what you're writing on now, Mike?
It's It's a slightly bigger post-it.
Slightly.
It is. It really is a big post-it note.
Love that.
I love it.
I haven't written
All
it
right.
so far.
Stick
I'm
it to your
gonna go in
monitor.
Different order here.
I know.
Paul, does your character have a name yet? Or
I've been
not yet?
exposed.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide between the two. So I'm gonna use my uncle's name. My uncle was a 007 fan. So he was he had a weird. His name was Fleming.
Ooh.
Okay.
Fleming. I was like, and we always made fun of his name as kids because that was like a weirdest ass name. Like, what the
Yeah.
Uncle Fleming? But I'm gonna go with that, Fleming.
I like
Fleming.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I like it. Ashley,
Yes.
you had I'm sorry, Eloise. I can actually use people's names.
Yeah.
Your persona names. Eloise, you had a significant gift at school, like something with real potential, and like everyone was aware of it. What was it?
I had the principal's favor, and I could get my way or get other people out of trouble if needed. Is that the kind of thing that you're looking for?
Yeah, I think.
Or are you thinking physical, like?
No, I mean it could be physical, but I think that's also good. I would maybe try to expand it outside of school.
Oh, okay.
So you can add on to that as well, like yeah.
I think just like a way with adults that just
you could communicate and kind of get what you want when you applied yourself to it, whether or not it's like being on the principal's favor. Maybe you had a lot of clout with the parents and the
Yes.
rich people.
They all saw me as a good influence on their kids, despite the fact that like I was probably getting away with like a lot, but so yeah, I could smooth things over and just
So the kind of person you put on was just like so intelligent that people like trusted you, like, oh well, she couldn't possibly do any harm, and because of that they trusted you with everything.
Yes.
And you got whatever you wanted and
like
gave it to your
they
friends too.
had keys to the school even because I was friends with it, and they were like, well, she's not going to do anything bad with it, and probably like like snuck in after hours and like I don't know, changed a test score probably once, that kind of thing.
Changed your own or someone else?
Oh, my own. Oh, probably my own. I considered dropping Paul's or Fleming's because but I didn't.
You had that power. You had the power.
I had that power, but I just changed mine to be higher.
Awesome. Paul, you had kind of an all-consuming interest, like your absolute obsession in high school. What was it?
Oh, this is real. I was obsessed with being a comic book artist. I drew all the time. If you walked around and looked at desks, I drew on desks. I drew everywhere. But yeah, I wanted to be a comic book artist, but parents, no, comic drawing makes no money. But I drew, and that's how I met people too, because I was awkward. But I would draw them in class and like hand over the picture and try to, and hopefully they'd be like, oh, this is so cool, and try to meet me, or they'll be like, you're a fucking weirdo. Why are you drawing me? That's literally what used to happen in school. That's how I used to try to meet people.
Awesome. Yeah. So most of the time, people would find you in class drawing other people. In between your studies, you kept a separate secret binder from your parents, just full of comic book drawings and things.
Yep. And what I thought people were like outside of school, like superhero comics, or like I interpreted how I thought they were like outside of school and stuff.
You
Yeah.
drew all of our
Ooh, and
characters.
maybe I actually predicted what you guys would be like
Ooh.
when you opened it up. And I was like, oh,
It's deep.
So fan fiction.
fan fiction, shipping and fan fiction.
Yeah. Shipping.
Yeah,
Is that what you said?
shipping people and fan
Yeah.
fiction. Yeah.
Fanfic
so-
specialist.
So Tina's adult friend fan fiction, erotic friend fan fiction.
Yes, that one for sure.
It's just all butts.
All right, cool. Mike, you had something that was especially important to you. What was it? This can be a lot of different things, but
I'd probably say, does it have to be like an object, or is it more of an idea, or?
it doesn't need to be specific. I can guide it if it needs to be guided.
Yeah, I would say I probably wrote in like a little like pocket journal all the time. It could be anything from like my thoughts on things, or just fun ideas for band names, or it could just be things I observed about people, and especially this group, I would write down things that I know they enjoy and remember it for later.
So cute.
Interesting. So with this notebook, let's say you've been keeping one or multiple throughout like your entire like high school career, and yeah, so you just have a ton of knowledge about the inner workings of the school, maybe, and just like so much about people. There's a lot of angst in these diaries, I would assume.
Yeah, I see it as kind of like a pre-Facebook person of like, like there's been a time in my life, and this is embarrassing but very real, where I was like, oh yeah, like I know you, and they're like, I've never met you in my life. I'm like, oh right, you're my friend's husband who I've only seen on the internet, and I just see a bunch of pictures of you, but I feel like I know you because I see you so often. But it's one of those moments, but I have that in a notebook, so if anyone has had questions about like, oh, they're still in a relationship, or they're not, or they're this, I was like, I just knew because I was always just around. Not a drama like busybody, but like just very observational.
I would say that people could maybe you were kind of given you were pretty quiet, and you said bookish as a band kid, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in the cliques, people came to you for like information, and you'd have to parse through your notebook in order to get that information.
I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot. Yeah.
And that made you feel really good, because you were otherwise like pretty quiet, but like people knew that you had something, and they came to you for that knowledge, and you're like, yeah, I am that person.
Yeah. Nothing malicious or dramatic, but like very much like, oh, what's this person's favorite whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, there you go.
Yes, and maybe unbeknownst to you, used for malicious things.
Right.
Yeah,
I like
that.
that.
You were happy to give the information, but people maybe used you for that thing.
Okay.
All right, Jay. You had a goal. You had a goal in life. What was it?
To be on Broadway.
Nice. I assume you kind of did that. That's why you were always kind of creeping in the music halls, trying to keep it a secret from your jock
Yeah,
friends?
I think my parents took me to Broadway when I was like a lot younger, like single digits, kind of younger. And I fell in love with it. But I knew I couldn't tell anyone about that.
Yeah.
And I think I still kept the tickets.
Oh.
But they're like hidden somewhere in my room.
Love it. In high school, were you ever successfully in the musical?
Jay or Lionel?
Sorry, Lionel. You're like, oh no, my feelings.
So what I think happened with Lionel is that he would pass auditions and then ghost. So he'd get offered roles, like decent roles, because he took it really seriously. But then that inner conflict and knowing that he wasn't there academically, it was on this sports ride, he would ditch it to go back to the role he was supposed to have.
All right.
Okay, Troy Bolton.
Nice. Okay. Thinking if I have any other follow-up questions to that.
No notes.
Okay, I think I'm good. Lucky. You also had a goal in life. What was it?
Lucky's goal is to be the lead in some band of her making, probably. She plays electric guitar and she sings. She writes the songs, and she's like, trying to do it all to make things happen. And her goal is to get the hell out of Dodge and be a rock star.
You want to travel the world, get out of this shitty rich town, away from all these people,
Yeah.
and live a life.
Yeah.
Awesome. As for me, so just some additional context. My parents owned this let's say this famous restaurant in town. They divorced, and there was a huge contention between like the future of this restaurant, and it ended up going to my dad so he could keep the name, and I ended up having to work there like constantly. Like I was almost never at school because of how much I had to work at this restaurant and probably take it over at some point. So in between that time when we would get together to play games, like playing games with you all was like my biggest escape, because I was in high school already just like dropped into working nonstop.
I think I'm right there with you as well, because playing this game is the only way that I can kind of take an acting role.
Oh.
I think Lucky.
Let me just throw more gasoline on the trauma fire.
Yeah. I think Lucky is just trying to find people to be in her band. She's like, well, I'll make friends with these people, and maybe they'll play music with me.
Just fine, I'll play this fucking game.
There's this cool band called Unleash the Archers.
Cool. Let's see. Let's go into some more broad questions. Ashley, where did we all get together to play? When we could all finally like get together, where would we go?
I think I used my key access to let us get into the teacher's lounge, and we would actually go in there because there was this nice, like, it was much nicer than the actual cafeteria, so we'd set up in there. And so it was like this whole thing where like we memorized how everything was, and then we'd like rearrange stuff, and then we'd have to like put it back each time, but like we'd always leave something a little off just to kind of like fuck with them a little
And
bit.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it because I was like lawful good. I'm in the school on like a scholarship, so my parents have drilled it into me, don't get in trouble. You'll get kicked out of school. So like when she's always breaking into like teachers' lounges, I'm like OCD trying to put everything back in the exact place because I don't want to get caught.
And she's like, as we're leaving, and the last one to close the door, she like shifts the paper a little bit just out of sight as we're leaving.
Fleming's out of the room,
Yeah.
and
I don't think Lionel's that bothered about it because I don't think he gets in real school trouble because he's needed for the sports team.
yeah,
Like,
you're
it's not like
around.
he goes out of his way to like do bad things, but he's like, it'll be fine.
I think
Yeah.
Lucky likes to fuck with Fleming and like pretend to knock a lamp off of a table, but like catch it at the last minute and put it back up.
Oh my god, you're that. Oh,
Oops.
you're what's her name? Oh my gosh,
You're a
actress.
cat.
Yeah, from
Aubrey Plaza.
the Craft and
Oh.
Waterboy.
Yes.
Oh, what is her name? Yes.
Oh. I
She's
can
in like
still feel
everything.
it.
does-
Oh,
She
I
does
know what you're
look
talking
like
about.
that,
It's the
personified.
same character every time, and it's fucking amazing every
Yeah.
time she does it.
She has a crazy name too.
Yeah. Somebody say it. Yeah, for
Oh, there it is.
Perusa.
Perusa. Yep.
Perusa.
yeah.
I
Low-key-
love that someone used their first
Thank
time
you
in
for
chat.
chiming in just for that.
to give us that.
Yes.
I appreciate that so much.
We needed it. God, that movie's so good. I'm gonna go rewatch it. The Craft.
Waterboy, it's amazing.
Oh. I'm
It is
feeling
the-
Anyways,
Literally quoted all the time. Sorry, Eric.
getting back on track. Lionel, who did you think was the smartest of all of us? We've got two contentious people here, but of this group, who did you think was the smartest?
That's you, Jade. Your name is Lionel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was replying to someone in the chat. Who do I think was the smartest?
It's gonna make or break the game. Just kidding.
So I think.
Or is he gonna stir?
Can I ask you two a question?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. Yeah. Go.
Who do you think is the most gullible or susceptible to charm?
Out of
I think I would.
That's what I was
think
thinking
I
too.
would
But yeah.
Yep.
So I would say Fleming, because I would maybe genuinely really like his artwork, but play it up so that he would do my homework for me.
Yeah. And he's like the cool jock, so I feel like, oh, he likes me. I'm cooler hanging around him. Yeah.
Nice.
I'm also a different kind of smart than Eloise. I'm the smart where if you give me a book, I will learn it, but outside of my learned knowledge, I'm just not that smart. Put me on the street, and I'm not that smart. But math, history books, what I can learn, I can apply, and I'm really smart.
Maybe
Eloise
that's where I
seems
come
kinda
in.
crafty.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's where I come in to help you, is on that side
Yeah.
of things.
That's so cute.
But in school, I have to play like you're really uncool.
Oh.
That's
Oh God, that just broke my heart.
And I don't get it, and I don't know. I don't realize that.
Like he like
Really?
like Fleming, like you're like saying what's up to him, and Lionel just like walks right by you,
Or just like
and then,
pushes his face into the locker and keeps going, high fives the guys, and like,
yeah, and then later on that day we meet for a game like nothing happened.
Yeah. Oh, it's like 10 things I hate about you. Oh,
Yep.
Oh yeah,
oh no.
so sad. All right.
oh, Cujo plays games, raiding in with a party of 6. What's up, Cujo?
welcome.
Welcome,
Good
friend.
to see you, friend.
Oh, Visage. They're last playing Visage? Good luck. That's a horror game, and I played it, and no thank you.
No thanks.
No,
It was-
thank you.
It was terrifying.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Let's see. Fleming. Who was the best looking of us? And I'm saying this more in like in terms of like at school, like who did people think was like the most attractive in this group?
Who I think the most attractive? Who I thought was who I thought the school
Who
thought was
who you personally thought, but maybe from like a yeah, actually either. If you want to do you personally, or if you want to kind of like expand it to like who you knew like everyone like fawned over or something.
Got it. I would say that Lionel was my idol because he was everything that I was trying to be in school, but I wasn't. So I was the kid that every year would like try to talk my parents to buy me the newest, coolest clothes, but I really didn't know what the newest, coolest clothes was. So every year I would show up on the first day thinking I looked fly, and I wasn't.
Oh no.
Lionel always looked fly. So then throughout the year, I would slowly start to try to like look like him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
So like
That's
slowly
good.
I'd like change my jeans or change the way but never the nails because I would have got my ass beat by my parents.
I think maybe I would help take you shopping for clothes, but like at a mall that's not our local one, so that no one sees
next
us.
town over.
Yeah. It's just got better stores. It's just got better stores over there. Let's go to that one.
Awesome.
Cool. Lucky. Who of us was most picked on?
Like outwardly and openly, like for everyone to know about, I would probably have to say Fleming.
Yeah.
I did have a bully in school. Yeah.
He was also your best friend.
This is getting so deep. I just think that just strategy wise and like all looking at everything from above, Eloise has like this favor with adults and the principal and all those things, and she can like kind of do things for people. Like, oh yeah, you want to get into this room after hours? Well, then I can do that for you. So she's kind of like a gangster, but and then like I don't think Lionel's more like a bully, and Frankie kind of gets by, and I don't think people notice Frankie much. Like she's just in her corner, but I think Fleming is just going to be like that target. And Lucky would literally just like punch anybody that like said anything. She's just gonna get into physical fights. Yeah.
It's just I'm always was at the top of the GPA, the grades ranking, and that just bothered people.
Yeah, that makes sense. Easy.
And Eloise is, but Eloise not as awkward as Fleming.
Yeah, Eloise has that
Charisma.
status to kind of protect her. I don't think Gavin was probably picked on much because he was probably just leaving school so often that people left me alone a lot.
Gavin is one of my friends in school. Exact to a T. Like had to work the family business all the time and
Yeah.
Is Gavin like the school flake? Like it's weird to kind of see you in school even though we know you should all be there.
Yes, 100%. And seeing me at all, like most people probably don't even know I even go to this school. Like they'll see me like at graduation, it's like, do you even go here? She doesn't even go here. Like, I've been here all 4 years.
The second Mean Girl reference tonight.
I hope there's more.
Me too.
But yeah, I think Gavin probably was got probably closer to Frankie in that, they're probably both pretty quiet together, and Frankie was always writing things about people, and I think Gavin was just like fascinated by learning what was actually happening at the school, and so I'd always just like ask you like, whoa, like what, like who's doing what now? Like the gossip was intriguing, because I was never there or got to really experience it.
Living school vicariously through Frankie's notes.
Oh, it's so sad.
The name
This game is so sad.
I don't want to go anymore.
I'm gonna die. Name of the game.
I will say that I don't think Lionel is a bully. I think he goes along with the bare minimum to not be like sus.
Mm.
Yeah.
Got it.
But like however you guys see it is how you guys see it.
I feel like us knowing you as a friend, it probably feels more personal, but maybe to the rest of the school, it's probably like not. You're kind of in the group, but maybe it's not as like direct. We're just like, all of us are secretly maybe judging in a way. It's like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
Except maybe Lionel's the coolest.
But I really want to be a part of the group, and like openly, and like that's my thing. But I know I have like this duality.
Yeah, I like it. Frankie. Who was the group most scared of at school?
Oh, Eloise.
She's got the real power.
Yeah, it's Eloise and Lucky for sure. They're like, it depends on what type of scared. Is it physically? Then it's Lucky. If it's like, oh, you're gonna like ruin my semester, it's Eloise.
I like this. I would. Okay, so in this group, we were probably most afraid of those two. How about us as a group? Who are we also like most afraid of?
Oh, that's tough.
Like all of us are afraid of the same thing, or who are we
Yeah.
individually? Okay.
Like as a group, is there like another group that fucks with us? Is like as a whole, or if
I think individually for me, and like you guys take this as you want, but my teammates.
Yeah.
Mm.
That clique, like the popular clique of
Yes,
like
like-
the sports and then the
Cheerleader.
the like mean girl group that is, in that same tier. Like,
all right, yeah. All right, go ahead.
Mm.
Oh, I thought I heard that.
I was gonna say like potentially the administration and the school, but I don't know like what that's like, you know, like being that it's like a private rich school, I can imagine they're a bit more strict.
Okay. So yeah, generally speaking, like the folks who are popular, the ones who are maybe doing the bullying that Lionel turns his eye to, we're always kind of maybe on edge about. I think when maybe Eloise isn't around, all of us are like probably always getting in trouble with like the school admins and things, and then like whenever we're walking around with Eloise, they see us like, oh, you have a role model to like, I'm glad you're like with the good crowd now, kind of thing. But when we're not with her, like there's immediately blame us for everything.
Yeah. I imagine like a really mean secretary where if you're like 2 seconds late coming into the door from school, you get it like a tardy or like a mark.
But if you walked in with Eloise,
I had a
Yeah.
Right.
liaison.
Like, oh, of course you're working on
this
another
guy
project.
who like had a walkie-talkie, and he acted like he was like a cop in school. Like he would just patrol around and try to catch kids that were like
A student or
playing
like
hooky. No, he was the liaison. He's like that was his title at school. He was like a counselor, but he acted like a cop.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like, and he thought he was so
that's
cool
what
with
you
his
need in your
walkie-talkie.
counselor.
That's who we
We
have to
call them
run from,
narcs.
because sometimes they're there after hours and they might catch us in the teacher's lounge. That's like our ultimate. Is like we have one janitor or like security guard who I don't have, like I'm not cool with, who we have to like slip
Yeah.
around all the
The
time.
one that's sus about you and your real motives. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
the one actually knows the
Yeah.
catches on.
Carries a walkie-talkie after school hours when nobody's around, even though
Exactly.
there's
Like,
nobody
who are you talking to?
Like, who are you talking to, dude? Like,
the other walkie-talkie is in the janitor's closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a 10-year-old in the treehouse right over there. He's super cool.
After hours, it's like using lingo over the walkie-talkie
Yeah.
that like no one understands.
Breaker.
Um,
Like you're
Niner
not
Niner 401.
Yeah,
You're a
I
niner.
think as far as like the admin goes, maybe like if we all get called into like the principal's office or whatever, and you go through like the individual interviews, like I'm always like let out,
Yeah,
and then I'm shocked that you guys get punished.
yeah. You're like, what? I
Oh
thought we
wait,
were
what?
totally fine.
I feel like Lucky's parents probably donate a lot of money to the school, and there might be a chance that she gets out of things pretty easily as well because of that, and that might be the only time she like throws her name around.
I like that.
Good. That's really good.
Can somebody think of a name for this this one janitor that's out for us?
in my school, it was Mr. Chow. He had a black leather jacket that he thought he was so cool in. He was like straight from the 70s, like a 70s thug.
I love
yeah.
that.
That's what he looked like.
This is so good.
With a
leather
walkie-talkie, and he
jacket.
thought he was a cop, like Magnum PI, was patrolling the school grounds and stuff.
I'm thinking like
Yeah.
chips. Like that's
Yeah.
what I'm imagining.
Mr. Klingsky.
What?
Chow Klingsky.
How
No.
from all
Write
over.
that down.
Mr. Chips Chow
Oh
Klinsky.
God.
I like the name
Good.
Chip. I like the name
Chip is
Chip
cool.
for a janitor.
Chip
Yeah,
is
okay.
good for a janitor.
Chip.
And he's mad that we call him by his first name instead of like Mr.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
like his name is
Janikowski.
Chip.
Like his
But
first
last
name's
name-
Chip,
Yeah.
but we all just call him Chip, and he's like, "No, I'm Mr.
Dale.
Dale. Chip Dale? No."
Well played.
That's so good.
Really
I'll
good.
call him whatever you want. I got what I wanted out of that.
Mr. Chip M. Dale.
we would razz him for many reasons, but
Yeah.
Sorry, what, Mr. Well, I can go with
Mr.
Dale.
Horton, like Chip Horton, feels
Okay.
janitorial.
Sounds really, yeah.
Horton. All right, I like it.
I already have so many good insults for
Oh,
Chip.
good job, Chip. Who you calling on the?
Maybe he like with a name like Chip Horton. That's kind of like uppity as well, a little bit. Maybe he went to the school but never went anywhere.
Ooh, literally.
And so and so like has like a disdain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, back in my day, I was running all kinds of shenanigans. I know what you're up to, and we're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Before we move to the next part, who's your favorite and least favorite person of the group? I think I'll start. I would say my favorite would probably be Frankie. I think we were pretty close. And my least favorite in the group, Lionel. Because of the status, and I knew what he was doing to.
It's the easy ride. Yeah.
I always saw it, and I never stopped it. Lucky, favorite and least favorite person.
I think her favorite's gonna be Frankie. Honestly, I feel like there's a bridge there. And then, not to be like Gavin, but I think Lionel's probably the most opposite of her in the whole group. So we're gonna say Lionel for least. Oh my god, I did the same exact thing that you did.
Oh no, that's fine.
Was it on purpose? I was like, who would my character like?
Lionel.
I think I think my favorite's gonna be Fleming. And I think my least favorite is gonna be Lucky, but not because I don't necessarily not like her, but I think she sees through how fake I'm being and living that like double life, and she's not afraid to call me on it, and I don't like being confronted by it.
Interesting. Question, actually, follow up to that. Do any of us know that you want to be in like musical theater?
Eloise definitely does, because
okay,
yeah, like I don't know how she feels about the fact that I keep ditching when I get offered like bigger roles.
Frankie, favorite and least favorite person.
Oh, I think Frankie's favorite would be Lucky, because she wants to be that like rebellious outwardly, but can't. So she kind of like she gets to live vicariously. Like whenever Lucky gets into a fight or a scrap, she's like shadow boxing behind it, like yeah. But I think on the same token, I think her least favorite would be Eloise, just because she thinks like you perfect, like I guess not like the not dislike like Jay said, but like just sort of like every now and again she's like, ugh, like you're exhausting. Why are you so perfect? I think that's it.
No notes.
But she does have like an appreciation for the sneaking around part. Like, all right, you got some teeth, you got some edges. But
yeah,
I think it's the overall how she handles things versus how Frankie does.
Mm. Fleming, how about you?
I think Gavin's just not around much, huh?
Not around much, but yeah, I'd say we get together weekly to play our game, and that's where you kind of see me most.
So Lionel doesn't know that we're secretly each other's favorite person, but yeah,
that makes sense. This is a given.
And I think it may seem obvious that Eloise is my rival, but Eloise is not my least favorite person. It's Lucky, because Lucky scares me. I feel like Lucky has aggressive energy and whatnot, and I'm like that timid kind of introvert, and Lucky is just a lot.
Yeah.
Lucky's like probably a little bit louder, a little more aggressive, does everything really big, probably has big energy, big emotion, and that like I'm like timid, and that intimidates me.
Yeah. I feel like Lucky does what she wants, and
I don't.
Like, it's so cool that it's hard to. Yeah. It can be it's super intimidating being around someone that is so effortlessly like.
I think maybe if Lucky started intimidating, or if I recognized that Fleming was getting intimidated, I would insert myself in there, and then that would cause more friction.
Interesting. Eloise, favorite and least.
I think her favorite is actually Fleming, because she appreciates someone who can keep up with her, and actually like she thrives on that like competition, and she's like, oh, thank God, someone to finally like, compete with and that type of thing, and appreciates, sees the intelligence and sees the dedication and that kind of thing. And I think least favorite is Lionel, because she sees like the two-face. She sees that like he wants to do this, but he doesn't do it. That he wants to be friends with Fleming, but he's mean to him. Like, and it's almost this like mirror she refuses to look into too, where she sees that he's a little two-faced, but doesn't see that she is doing kind of the same thing. But since she's doing it to adults, she doesn't think that it matters. Like, it like isn't the same to her. But I think there is something there where like she sees her foil in that, or like a reflection of herself in his actions. But yeah, she's so frustrated that you fucking flaked on the school musical, and we had to recast the music again.
So much work.
Like,
I have to go with second choice.
Carry a fucking tune, and like.
Oh, here's a good point. Would Frankie know about me trying out for musicals and things?
Oh, probably.
And if she does she tell anyone?
From her book of secrets.
Yeah, I don't think she says anything out of her journal unless someone asks. I think like it's not it's for her, and the people coming up to her just kind of started as like a weird byproduct of just like a small conversation here and there.
Or let me throw this out there. Did I see you like writing stuff down and confront you and be like, no one can fucking know this?
I like that. I like that a lot. And I think
there might be
also,
a page missing from your notes.
Yeah, I think that also scares Frankie a bit of like, oh, like people do notice. Like I'm not just a fly on a wall like I thought I was. I'm a little bit more like people do see me when I'm writing. They just, a lot of them don't have the either friendship connection or the audacity to come up and say something.
I think that Lucky tries to kind of friendly intimidate Frankie to like give her information, not because she wants to do anything with it, because she thinks it's interesting and she likes to know shit about people. I mean, it's always good to have like information in your back pocket or whatever, but I think that's part of the friendship draw to Lucky or Lucky to Frankie. She sees that she kind of like wants to be a rebellious goth kid too, but she just can't. So like she just becomes like friendly with her, but likes to like coarse information out of her because she has all of it, and it's kind of good to know things. So I definitely think that Lucky knows shit about Lionel.
Yeah.
So it could be that all of us maybe secretly know about Lionel, but we've
Like
never
everyone
told him.
individually knows. But
Yeah,
to-
but we've never
among us?
talked about it like with each other or like, yeah. And you don't know that we know.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Except for Eloise and Frank.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Exactly. Yes. This is good.
You're the sad tragedy we all
also-
watch.
And she for the games where after like the school musical where Eloise comes in all of her stage makeup and stuff, and you ask how the show was, when she's like, "It was fine, it was great," and just like very pointed about it towards you.
You would know.
You wouldn't know. You were there.
All right. We've got more to get through. I think we have to speed this up a little bit. This is going to be
is
now
really
we are now. Yeah,
This is really fun.
yeah. I'm so stoked. There's so much good content in here. So let's fast forward 20 years. We're all adults. We've lived a life. I'm going to start with Eloise. So the significant gift you had at school, like this ability to kind of get what you wanted by like your clout and your knowledge, well, your intelligence kind of got you into a lot, and the people that you knew opened a lot of doors for you.
Mhm.
Somehow, like that, you thought this was going to bring you, like having all these great connections, and you thought like this was going to build your future, knowing all of these people and having them open those doors for you. That future never happened for you, and, like not even close.
Mm.
Why not? What happened?
Ooh. I think. She had aspirations of like moving off and doing all these great things in some great city, whatever. And I think outside of, she realized that everything she had was so localized that she wasn't able to really break out of that, and that beyond the influence she had at school, she wasn't able to carry that over into like the kind of like financial standing you need to be able to. So she saw everyone else who like, she had this kind of like false privilege that she was like clutching to, and then she watched everyone else who had the real kind like go off and be able to afford to do all these like crazy things, and she just, so I think she ended up probably like on her city as like a city planner. Like she works for her same hometown, but she's like works for the city and like has a good position and like is known, I think, throughout the town, but her influence just didn't carry over in the way that like if she would have had the same privilege and opportunities as other people she was in school with, she could have made that step. But she, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. So leaving school, you were kind of met with a rude awakening that all of this stuff didn't carry over, and maybe you moved to a new town or a new city, and no one knew you, no one cared to know you, and that was too much. And so you moved back home, became a city planner, and you've become very like small world.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Fleming. You were all-consuming interest was comic book, like being a comic book artist. At some point, it's no longer in your life, like at all. Why not? And how do you feel about it?
So towards the end of school, I actually confronted my parents and tried to get them to allow me to go to the Academy of Art. And I got in like real big trouble. Kind of like you're going to be a doctor or you're moving out. Like that's the big fear. Like we're not gonna take care of you. 18 and you're out. And so I backed down and I tried to do what my parents wanted, but because the passion wasn't there, I wasn't, and the passion wasn't there, and I didn't have an Eloise pushing me. I was by myself. I couldn't cut it to become a doctor, and so I was kind of lost with no identity, not sure what I was gonna do. Yeah.
Do you? What is your current profession? Are you still a doctor, or like, did you not make it as a doctor? And
I did not make it as a doctor. Let's see, what am I doing? I don't want to be in real estate like I am in real life.
It was on the tip of my tongue, and I was like, "Don't say it. Don't say it."
No. I think I don't draw anymore, but I do work in a comic book store, which is like a very low paying job. It gets me close enough to like what I wish I could have done, but I can't do. So I'm just like, just running a comic book store, working yeah.
Got it. Locally or
Locally,
somewhere else?
yeah.
Locally.
Yeah.
All right. Damn y'all.
I know, right?
Frankie, the thing that was most important to you was this knowledge that you had of everyone around you, and it made you friends. It bound you to the people here. You lost all of those notes, those things you kept like super dear to you, and it felt like something was just like ripped from you. How did you lose it, and how does it affect you?
I think that it was probably an overzealous parent that found it and was basically saying like these like basically saying that I was not living for myself and living for others, and then also that tied into kind of like the overly religious parents that were like, you can't have this kind of like writing, all you're doing is writing about these like metal like goth lyrics and all this like Satan lyrics, and it's the devil's work, and they just found my box of notebooks and threw it all away, and probably burned the one I was writing it at the time. So I think that's like my big catalyst. And my dad's friends with the janitor at the local like church or something, and that didn't help.
Yeah. How did that affect you down the line?
I think it affected.
Kind of pivotal moment.
I think it really helped the catalyst for growing up and becoming my own person. I think it really helped show, like, like after 20 years, I think like with the writing and everything, I think that she's now like does like more online blogs, and like she has a blog called like Feeling Frankie. And it's about like finding yourself and like the music that you like through the music that you love, and like recommendations and like local shows and all that.
Sounds like Frankie actually has become pretty successful in life.
In life for sure, yeah. I think that's whether that's like a super successful blog or just something she does on the side for passion, I think it's something that she can enjoy on her own time.
And you said it was kind of a catalyst for growing up. Do you think Frankie got a lot more like self-confidence?
Oh yeah, definitely through like her role models in the group, whether she liked it or not. I think each of her friends, I think she would stop by the restaurant and see like you working hard. She got the rebellious part from Lucky. She knew she had to understand people and know how to talk to them through Eloise. She knew that you had to struggle in order to maintain like friendships. And then she also knew that, you know, having those friendships gets you success, and that would be everyone kind of rounded out. So like she kind of took everything from each person and was like, hey, I got this, and I'm not gonna be the quiet one anymore. I'm gonna be the best parts of all those people.
Yeah, you watched others and incorporated all of their pieces into yourself. So you kind of rebuilt your knowledge book and just put it into yourself.
Yeah, I Frankensteined myself.
Became the book.
Okay.
Get
Okay.
out.
So good.
Yeah, I think Frankie was probably one of the first people later down the line to find, came to visit the restaurant. My dad had passed away, and I'd taken over the restaurant. I was just like working even more separated from my friends, more separated from everything, and the business was. You start like since you would kind of come in, you'd see like every time I was just getting run down, the restaurant was getting run down. Like the name of the restaurant is just like slowly becoming deteriorated. Like the neon signs that were there like flickering. Some of the letters are out. I just like can't keep up with any of it. But your visits always made me happy. Lionel, you had a goal in life, and that was to go on Broadway. You tried, and it never happened. What happened?
So, I think I tried for Broadway, and yeah, maybe he's like a trust fund baby, so he has like a nest egg to live on. But he performed really well in auditions, but his exterior prevented him from getting the parts. And so I think for the latter part of his life, after only living in like wins and successes, like all he's tasted is kind of failure.
You were almost there, but like it's just not working out for you. Lucky, you also had a goal in life. In this case, it was starting your own band, traveling the world, seeing it all. You were actually incredibly successful in doing so. You got exactly what you wanted, but it still hasn't made you happy. Why not?
Oh shit. I would say she plays this like loner persona, this rebellious one. I don't need anybody. I'm a rock star. Everybody loves me. I don't need to love anybody kind of situation. And at the end of the day, she's fucking alone. Like she's had relationship after relationship that have just failed because she can't connect with people, because she always wants to be on the outside. She the only time in her life that she can remember that she actually connected people was when she was with this fucking group of kids in high school when you played this game together. And she often thinks back to that, even though she's like playing to sold out shows in giant stadiums, and she's like super uber successful and has an awesome band. but she often thinks back to the connections that she made.
Yes, that's good. And I think Gavin was probably most surprised when he learned that you were actually going to be in town for the reunion. He figured all of us were going to be there. Most of us were still local, but really excited to hear Lucky was actually going to be around again. We haven't seen you in a very long time. Cool.
I think Fleming is hesitant to meet everybody because Fleming was supposed to be successful and he's not, and he's ashamed to meet everybody.
At a reunion where it's like the most, it's like competition, like yeah.
I think there's a bit of that with Lionel as well, and I think Lionel realizes that the biggest part that he's ever played was himself through high school.
Oh my god! Damn!
Was it supposed
Hey, a fun game, you said. It'll be a good time.
I never said it would be a good time.
Sure, it's a time though. Yikes.
Awesome. All right. Any we can kind of move to open forum of just like any other details you want to add to your life in regards to like married, single, kids, different responsibility in your life.
I think Lionel's still single. He's still trying to make it as an actor, even though that's slowly been sort of chipped away from him. And he kind of he can't be happy with himself, so there's no way of kind of projecting that happiness onto someone else.
No.
Yeah, Lucky is definitely single, no kids or anything, because she literally lives by flies by the seat of her pants, flies to Paris one weekend, random shit. You can't carry people along for that shit. So she, again, just her.
Yeah.
Fleming's still single because it feels like he isn't successful enough to find someone and be deserving of somebody. So he's like, yeah.
I think that's Eloise too. She doesn't want someone to meet her at the her that she is right now because it's not who she was supposed to be, who she's still supposed to be. She's hanging on to that and it doesn't even try. I think in that respect, I think is putting everything into trying to make more connections and get larger, bigger, better, but it's just can't get everything to fit the way it was supposed to in her perfect plan.
How about you, Frankie?
Yeah, I don't think Frankie has figured it out yet. I think Frankie has been aggressively dating and just can't figure out why it's not working. She wants to figure out, she wants to date, but she hasn't quite, she just seems to get, she doesn't know what it is, whether she can't make that final connection with somebody or if she just can't, she finds people boring or a dead end, or she always tries to find, she thinks she tries to find the best in folks, but she always seems to find the one thing that is a red flag to her, no matter how small. I think that's where Frankie's at. But dating is a big part of her life at the moment. I think that's aggressive dating.
Aggressive
dating.
Good.
Let's get
I think I think I'll round out that one, and also too much work to be able to concentrate on a relationship. We're all going to be single folks in this game.
This is our 20-year reunion.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
We're all lost at life.
Fuck, dude.
Late 30s, right?
Yeah.
You're like
Well,
18
38.
when you graduate?
38
Yeah.
-ish,
you're
yeah.
30. Oh shit, that's how old I am.
Throwing this out there. Just throwing this out there. Are we back for like 20-year reunion?
Yeah.
And we all go
Oh.
into the teacher's lounge to play another game.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. That's so
Eric's
we
like,
all
I'm
moved
good to
away
say
from
that.
the
Shut up.
gymnasium.
Yeah, I'd say at some point after like the reunion happens, Eloise somehow still is able to get us.
She
into
knows
that
where a
teacher's
spare
lounge.
key's kept.
Yeah,
Like she doesn't have her ring of keys anymore, but she knows that the forgetful secretary who's still there has an extra taped under her pencil like cup. So she gets it from there.
and we're all adults now, so we don't really care whether or not janitor
Yeah.
comes
What the
and
fuck are they
says
gonna do?
anything. So.
Chip.
Chip.
Chip's still alive?
And Chip still works there.
Absolutely. Someone in chat said he's now the superintendent of the school.
Oh my god.
Worked my way up.
He's CEO of the local waste management, but still does this as a side gig.
No, I don't want to have to work with him at the city.
Oh no. A last question, I think. Actually, no. I got two. What made each of you not want to come to this reunion?
Shame.
Shame.
Yeah, I think we kind of got a lot of that actually in the answers we had before.
Tried
a lot
dating
of
everyone
some,
else in the class that didn't leave town.
Yeah, I think being seen as less than I was.
I probably seen them around town and actually ducked and hid away.
No.
Yeah.
People thought you like went on to be successful, but you've just been like hiding.
Yeah.
I think that Lucky would want to kind of come back, but like not really let it be known that she's coming back. Like it's like the one place where she was not this like person that the rest of the world knows. Like just kind of like secretly come in and try to just be us again. But
Yeah.
I think
I mean,
she's
there's
like
probably. Sorry, go ahead.
no, yeah. I think that her shame really does lie in the fact that she's still like alone. Like she's got literally everything she could ever want, and she set out to do, and she did it. And why isn't she happy? Like why can't she like find someone? And you know why do people keep leaving and those kinds of things?
Yeah. So the reluctance is maybe more on just the how everyone knew you at school. Like you know that you're actually just like so much. You want to be more intimate with people than what everyone at school probably thought of you as.
Yeah,
as being standoffish, like super cool. Yeah.
because you know when you put together a persona for everyone else that you're keeping everyone at arm's length, it's real hard to let anybody pass that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll go down the line on this question. Let's start with Lionel. What did you think when I invited you to play this time? Like when I invited you specifically, let's say I heard everyone was going to be in town, and I like called you, texted you. It was like, hey, do you want to play? What did you think immediately?
I think there was like the rush that he was always looking for, because he always like loved being able to play a character so much that the thought of being able to do it again after so many failures was like thrilling.
Yeah.
And like almost like it's fulfilling something.
Mm-hmm. You have something's been missing, and this was a place that you kind of got that initial rush to begin with.
Yeah, that's how I fed on it through school, and then once I left, that was gone.
Yeah. Fleming, how about you? What did you think when I invited you back?
I was excited because the game was still one of the things that I think I'm good at still. I'm not good at anything else anymore, but I remember being really good at the game because of the math and the mechanics, and that was how my mind worked, and so I was excited to be good at something again, like the game. Yeah.
I love that. Lucky, how about you?
So I think that it was like a rush of like familiarity, like people that she could potentially just be real with when she's kind of dealt with people being fake with her as well, because she's like this rock star celebrity type person. So like kind of like really excited in like a very juvenile kind of way, like, you know, just that like child excitement of like, oh my gosh, like people that will be real with me and that I can be real with. And, you know, but also I think that maybe there was like a tinge of like with Gavin, particularly because he always liked the music and we'd probably get high together and things like that. Like I think that there was like a oh, Gavin, I haven't thought about him in a long time. You know, maybe she had like a crush on him at the time, but didn't want to, like, because, you know, you got to keep people away, you know? So it was kind of, I think there was kind of a little bit of that too. And then, yeah, no, I think that's pretty much the reaction initially that she would have had for the game, but absolutely would do whatever needed to be done to get there.
Yeah, the familiarity of having people that cared about you is like something that you've longed for a long time. Yeah, I like that. Eloise.
I think she feels the notification come through and like instinctively reaches for her work phone, and realizes that it actually came through to her personal, which has been so dry. I don't think she's really made a whole lot of like, so I think it like takes her back. These were like her only friends she had that didn't want something from her, because everyone else just wanted her to like use her influence, use her other things for their gain, but everyone here just like accepted her for who she like actually was without all the other stuff. So she's excited at the chance to like do something with friends that like, and not just be so absorbed with work constantly and that constant like hustle.
Yeah, I love that. And Frankie.
Yeah, I think she's like, I very much super excited to see all the people who helped her see her through the roughest time in her life. She's kind of missed, probably seen one or two of you at a time throughout the years, but to get the actual group back and actually play the game that kind of brought us together again, just ecstatic. And is something she doesn't have to think about or worry about. It's just something that comes natural. So she's very, very happy about it.
Fleming actually secretly hates Frankie because Fleming in school was like, you know what? Writing doesn't make any money. I don't know why Frankie's spending all their time writing. And now Frankie is successful as a writer, as a blogger. I'm like,
There's that jealousy.
Jealousy.
Built up.
The projection.
Actually being successful. Yeah. Cool. Oh, I think I've got what I need. I am really glad I got to do this with this group specifically, because I've read I've wanted to do a game where we do a collaborative kind of character creation. I've heard about it, like how it's done, and every other tabletop game I've played, it's always like me creating a character. Like everyone brings their characters that they created, and maybe they talk to the DM to like place them somewhere in the world. But I love kind of this collaboration on like how we all know each other, how we're like really deeply connected, and what our like real true like flaws are. So yeah, I'm excited. I don't have anything else. I will need to distill all of this information into something, and then kind of turn it into a world for you all. And for everyone out there, what I'm planning on doing is this is going to be a likely 2, maybe 3 session game. The game will happen on a Wednesday that will be announced at some point once I figure out timelines for things. But yeah, stay tuned for that, because we will get to dive into these stories more and see what their backstories drudge up in the realm of die.
Ooh.
Do we want to go through and talk paragons, like what we've chosen? Or do you want to leave that, GM? Up to you.
I think we should leave that.
Okay.
Yes.
Suspense.
Leave that. Leave that to the first session when we sit down, and it'll occur narratively.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell
Yeah. And yeah, that's it. That's all I can say.
I love that. I love that so much.
I'm scared. This is gonna wound us all so deeply. It already has.
I love these characters. So
I'm
much.
glad we picked fake names, because for a while I was like, oh, we're all just basically ourselves, and then we're gonna like, but we added other details and we got away from that, which is good, because
Yeah, and I will also add one other thing. I know I did talk to you all like offline about like safety tools and things, but there is a term called bleed in tabletop, and a lot of what we put into the game is, as Paul said himself, like this was like me as a kid, and like a lot of this is like real things. Always make sure to take a step back and make sure this doesn't like bleed into like your person things that you work with. It's a good safety tool, like tip to know.
Yes.
for sure.
And we appreciate you bringing that up. That is definitely something that, especially in a game like this. So thank you for that, and thank you for everything. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited. This is cool.
I've been pining about
like
this for like
Wish Stranger
weeks.
Things crew, or like I feel like the
Yeah.
It crew. Somebody mentioned the It crew. I feel it.
That's very kind of has that similar like kid, and then like grew up into adults with like real flaws.
Absolutely, yeah. Is there did we want to rate anybody specifically?
Oh, let's see. Dorktails is up. Blackwater's up. No Man. Or D20 Deathmatch is up. Oh, that's a rerun. Never mind.
Magic RPG.
Yep.
Dorktails or Magic RPG. Those two are playing D&D at the moment.
Let's jump into Dorktails, just because we always go to raid them and they're always ending.
Oh yeah, we're early.
But we're earlier because it's Monday, so if we jump on them now, it should be okay.
Yeah, we'll do that. I am so excited. There's a lot of cool other stuff that Eric and I worked on with graphics and stuff. So I'm very, very excited for everyone to see that. Not only us here at the table, but everyone out there. So, and Eric, again, thank you. It has been so much fun working with you on stuff the past few weeks. We don't get the chance often anymore.
More to come as well.
I mean, thank you. I You did all the work. I just said, yeah, that looks good, buddy. Thank you.
No, I'm so excited about it. I know everyone has some really cool shows coming up. So this is the first of many. I know that.
Yeah.
Very, very excited.
Yes.
Yeah, get the raid started here.
All right, so we're gonna raid our friends over at Dork Tales. So when we get there, make sure you throw those raid emojis down. Let them know where you came from. Also, scoop up those extra 250 bonus channel points to turn them into flex points when we play in Fables of Galia. Which I think the schedule for that is a little up in the air right now, so we'll get that nailed down. But yeah, this was super fun. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah. Thank
thanks,
you all.
Eric.
This is going to be so good.
Awesome.
I'm super looking forward to it. Thank you for kicking your week off the right way with our Cozy Monday stream. Although not quite so cozy, more traumatic. Just lifting the lid on Pandora's box a little bit. Just a little bit.
Peeky poo.
But yes, thank you so much for spending your time with us. This has been awesome. We possibly will be back on Friday. I will let everyone know. We will let everyone know on the channel as well. Oh, Dial Up, thank you for the gifted sub.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thank you. Just on the way out.
Oh wait, did that hit the? No, it did. Sorry.
No. All
It's
right.
right here.
Oop. It canceled on me.
Oh,
Dang it.
we did. We did hit the sub goal.
What?
with the
We
sub
hit the
goal?
sub goal because he
Oh.
gifted and then subbed himself.
So he was like, "Wait!"
Do we still have most of the chat?
Yeah, we didn't
Oh,
raid
no,
yet.
no, 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 no.
We didn't raid yet.
All right. This will be for a plushie D20, much like the one right there.
Oh, nice.
Do you want to run a giveaway really quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
They earned it.
right.
I
Yes,
guess.
it'll be a Norse Foundry plushie D20.
What'd you roll?
What did I roll? I
Yeah.
stopped it
Everybody-
before it ran off the table.
Well, then roll it again.
That's a 9.
It's not that good.
That's not that good. Because I'm not like.
I'm not gonna sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
That's
That's dog
Oh,
shit, man.
that's a 15. That's a 15. I did
that's better. That is better.
a bigger roll that time. All right, you do have to be in the US and you do have to be here when we call it. But exclamation point giveaway in the chat to win your own plushie D20
Yeah.
from the amazing people at Norse Foundry. So jump in. We'll give you like 30 seconds to a minute
Yeah.
to jump in on this.
I can show one thing really quick on screen. That'll take a minute if you guys want to do that.
Yeah.
Check this out, friends.
Uh-huh. Well, hi.
So we have this little box
Oh,
here. Yeah. And it has some just kind of descriptions on what dye is, and
Ooh.
So good.
Oh, wow.
yeah. I showed this
I love
to
it so much, Mike. I love it.
dude.
so
I
much.
like a bomb went off in my brain of creativity. I was like, I can do this. So yeah, it's really really cool. There's some really cool artwork that I'll let Eric talk about.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, you added all of the Paragon, so this is our Be Right Back screen, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, you can just get a quick overview of all of the Paragons, little background on Dye. The artwork is incredible. If you haven't heard of Dye or read Dye, definitely try to pick up the comic. It is so good. I mean, it inspired an entire like tabletop game from the author. So yeah, definitely check it out.
Yeah, I had such a ball. Once you sent me a message saying that we could use the artwork, and you were in contact with the creators, and I was like, yes. And I went through all the artwork, and I was like, this is so good. Like, I didn't realize I was like an award-winning illustrator. I was just ignorant to it all. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Really well done.
I was super excited to be able to get to meet the author of Die at Gen Con, and that's actually where I bought this book. Got to talk to him about the game, and yeah, Kieron is a really cool guy, and very down to earth, and just loves just chatting about stuff. So I was really, it's very rare that you get to just like meet somebody who created something that you absolutely love, and then just get to talk to them like normal people. So I was very honored.
Yeah, it's super cool.
All right, I think everyone that is going to join has joined the giveaway.
Yes.
They were quick on it.
Let's go ahead and roll it.
We're gonna roll it.
God damn it, Eric!
I didn't enter the giveaway.
We're gonna re-roll it.
What did you do?
I did not type exclamation point giveaway. I typed enter the giveaway exclamation
You're
point.
Boa Tamer.
There we go.
Oh.
Are they here?
Yay!
Hey, Jebotimer. I haven't said that name out loud before. Jump into our Discord. Click the link. Jump into our Discord. Give me, Swole Initiative, a message, and just say the word plushie. And I will know to get in contact with you, get your details and things like that. We're going to jump in and raid Dorktales before they go offline. Thank you so much for spending your Monday night with us. We're so excited. Thank you to Eric for running this session. And we will see you next time on the Swole Initiative Network. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great week.